Lily's coloring book. My wife and I had our first child 10 years ago. She's a beautiful little girl, so smart, so well-mannered, and with each passing day we grow more and more proud of her. It was very evident from an early age that Lily was drawn to art, pun not intended. For her third Christmas, we decided that we'd get her one of those little whiteboards as well as some dry erase markers. Remarkably, never once did she get any of those markers on her skin. Every color went directly to her board. The way that those colorful markers held my young daughter's attention was truly awe-inspiring and duly noted by my wife and I. Our baby girl would sit for hours on end, scribbling and erasing, drooling down onto the whiteboard without so much as a whimper. To be honest, I think we saw more fusses out of her from when we had to peel her away from the thing, whether it be for bed or bath time. She'd throw these tantrums, kicking and screaming wildly, and they'd go on until she either fell asleep or went back to the board. Time passes, though, as we all know, and with that passing of time came my daughter's growing disinterest in both the markers and the board. Obviously, my wife and I didn't want our little girl to lose touch with this seemingly predestined love for art, so together we came up with another idea: a coloring book. I mean, think about it. Lily had already shown such love for putting color to a background. Now that she was a little older, coloring books would be the answer, right? So, for her fourth Christmas, we went all out. Crayons, water paint gel pens, even some oil pastels. The crowning jewel, however, was the thick, 110-page coloring book that we wrapped in bright red wrapping paper and placed right in front of her other gifts. You know those coloring books you see at Walmart or Target? Those ones with the super detailed, almost labyrinth-like designs. Well, if you do, then you know what we got her. Obviously, she went out of those intricate little lines more than a couple of times, but for her age, I was astonished at how well she had done on her first page. It was like she knew her limitations as a toddler, yet her brain operated like that of someone much, much older. Her mistakes looked like they tormented her. She'd get so flustered, sometimes slamming her crayon or pen down atop the book as her eyes filled with frustrated tears. My wife and I would comfort her in these instances, letting her know just how talented she truly was and how proud we were. We could tell that our words fell on deaf ears, though, and our daughter seemed to just zone us out anytime we caught her in the midst of one of these episodes. All she cared about was being better. Nothing we said could change that. And get better she did. A few months after Christmas, I happened to walk into the kitchen to find Lily at the dining room table, carefully stroking a page from her book with a crayon gripped firmly in her hand. Intrigued by her investment in what she was doing, I stepped up behind her and peered over her shoulder. She had not broken a single line. I actually let out a slight gasp in utter shock, which prompted her to turn around and flash a big snaggle-toothed smile at me. "Daddy, look," she shouted proudly, flipping the book around in front of my face. "I see that lily bug. My goodness, where did you get that talent from? Definitely wasn't your old man." She laughed before placing the book back on the table. "Look, I did these too," she giggled. She then began flipping through the pages. Every single page. Every page had been colored. I could see her progress. I could see as it went from the clear work of a toddler to indecipherable from that of an adult. I could feel the warm pride for my daughter rising up in my chest and turning to a stinging sensation in my eyes. "You are incredible, Lily. This is amazing, baby girl. I can't tell you how proud I am of you." My daughter beamed, and the moment we shared still lives within my heart as though it just happened yesterday. The Christmas coloring books became a tradition, and every year we'd stock her up on all sorts of the things. Kaleidoscope patterns, scenes from movies, real-life monuments, Lily colored to her little heart's desire. So, what you're probably wondering is, why am I writing this? Well, I'll tell you why. I remembered the books we got her. I remember because I reveled in picking them out, choosing the ones that I knew she'd be most interested in. Therefore, imagine my surprise when I was cleaning Lily's room one day while she was at school to find a book that I know for a fact we did not give her. It had that same cardstock cover as the others, the kind that glistens in the light yet. There was no picture on the front, no colorful preview at what the book entailed. Instead, ingrained on the cover was the title, Lily's Coloring Book, in bold lettering. I made the regrettable decision to open the thing and immediately felt the air leave my lungs. Inside were dozens of hand-drawn pictures of me and my wife. Not just any pictures. Mind you, Lily had taken the time to sketch us to perfection while we slept. The most intricate, detailed sketches I'd ever seen, the kind that would take a professional artist days to complete. And this book was filled with them. As I flipped, the pictures devolved into nightmare fuel, and I was soon seeing my daughter's drawings of my wife, and I sprawled across the floor beneath the Christmas tree, surrounded by ripped coloring book pages and crayons. Our limbs had been torn off and were replaced with colored pencils protruding from the mangled stumps that had been left behind. Lily had colored our blood with such intimate precision that it felt as though it would leak onto my hand if I touched the page. I stood there, horrified and in a daze. I couldn't stop flipping through the pages, ferociously, each one worse than the last. As I flipped through page after page of gore from my daughter's brain, I could feel that stinging feeling in my eyes that I told you about. The tears welled up and filled my eyelids. In the midst of my breakdown, one thing brought me back to reality. The sound of my daughter calling out from behind me. "Daddy?" She called out just before my first teardrop hit the floor.